even if Newcastle fans kicked up a fuss about Saudi Arabian investment money coming into the club, it's not going to change the fact that this is happening. So obviously this week, Newcastle fans have become very excited by the possible takeover of Newcastle United. It's not quite done and dusted yet, but all the indications seem to be that it is going to happen, and that is something to be excited about. Obviously, most fans really are very, very excited about seeing the back of Mike Ashley, and most fans haven't really put much thought into who is coming in next. It's fair to say that this week we've also seen a lot of the national media, in particular, some journalists coming out questioning the morals of the takeover by the Saudis, and it is absolutely fair comment in my view. But what's tricky when they're telling Newcastle United fans to moralise and reject this idea of this money coming into the club? We have a strong emotional connection to that club, and in a sense it doesn't matter who the owner is. We just want the best for Newcastle. Obviously, in the era that we live in, this has led to Newcastle fans becoming very defensive across social media. This is just a ripe opportunity for fans of other clubs to have a little go at Newcastle fans and trying to assert their superiority and make out that their club is in some way better. But because football's so tribal, people get very defensive of their team, and it's just completely understandable, and it is the way of the world. It's not as if a football club represents the values and morals of every single fan in that fan group, because within any fan group, there is an absolute massive range of people with different beliefs and feelings and things. And, there'll be some people in this takeover who absolutely don't care about what happens in Saudi Arabia or anything like that. And there will be fans in the group who this is not sitting comfortably with. We all know, on some level, that Saudi Arabia is not a great country. It is an oppressive regime. It is very strict. There are a lot of things that happen in that country that are unpleasant and unsavoury and shouldn't happen in the 21st century. And their human rights record is appalling. You can't argue against that, and I don't think we should be arguing against that. The thing is, once people in the media start pointing these things out, people get very defensive, and again, it's because it feels like an attack on them personally. When they're attacking the club, it feels like an attack on them, and I get that. I just think that actually a lot of the journalists that are saying things about Saudi Arabia have a point, and I think that as Newcastle fans we should be able to accept that there is a point being made that is fair, whilst also being excited about the takeover happening. I think you can have both things. But even if Newcastle fans didn't agree with it, even if Newcastle fans kicked up a fuss about Saudi Arabian investment money coming into the club, it's not going to change the fact that this is happening. It will happen whether we want it to or not. We didn't have a say when Mike Ashley took over. We didn't have a say when Sir John Hall took over, or any other chairman before that. And football is full of supporters that don't like their owners. And that is almost like a default position for fans, not to like the owners. Because the fact is, unless you're winning stuff, your owner's not popular because you always think they could be doing better. Ultimately, it's not down to the supporters of Newcastle United to force any kind of change in a country like Saudi Arabia. That is down to the international community. That is down to governments around the world. And yeah, as a Newcastle supporter, if you want to highlight these issues and talk about them like Amnesty International suggests we do, great. I'm all for that. I think the more awareness we can make around those issues in Saudi Arabia, the better. But Newcastle United fans aren't going to make that happen on their own, but they can do their bit if they want to. Like I say, I'm just one fan. I can't speak for the whole fan base. These are my views. I just want this takeover to happen. I want Mike Ashley gone, and I want us to be able to go to St James's Park and enjoy the football once again.